So what's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at a 2020 Ram 3500 Laramie with the Night Edition package. Now, there's a few things about this truck that are unique, and I want to go over them with you in this video. Stay tuned. Special thanks to Criswell here in Thurmont, Maryland. These guys gave me a chance to take a look at some of their trucks. If you haven't had a chance yet, they just built a brand new showroom. It looks amazing. Be sure to check these guys out, and be sure to ask for Annette Pater, who's the general sales manager for the store. Now, as you guys can see, this is a long bed truck. So before we go over the truck, I want to show you the window sticker so you have a better idea of the options and features that this truck has. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. So taking a look at the window sticker, this is going to be a 2020 Ram 3500 Laramie Crew Cab 4x4 long box. Base price is going to be $53,800, and this is just a short listing of your standard equipment. 373 axle is going to be standard, and then this is going to be all your standard equipment for the interior. One thing to note is that 9-speaker Alpine is standard. Starting off the options is that granite crystal metallic clear coat for $200, leather trim bucket seats $545, and protection group and fifth wheel gooseneck prep are right there. Now, Night Edition is going to set you back $2,295, and everything that you see here is included, and everything over here is going to be included. Now, the Laramie Level 2 is going to be $4,095, and everything that you see here is going to be in that package. That 17-speaker Harman Kardon is upgrading from the Alpine. Now, this truck does have the 6.7 liter Cummins, $9,100. This is going to be the standard Cummins. There is a high output also. Now, clearance lamps, center stop lamp with cargo view camera, LED bed lighting, and then this does have the power deployable running boards with the spray and Bedliner. Destination comes in at $1,695 with a total price of $74,635. Now, if you do opt to have the standard Cummins, this is going to have 370 horsepower and 850 pound-feet of torque, and this is going to have the 68 RFE. Now, the way you would know is if you had the Eisen, the dipstick for the transmission would be on this side, but the 68 RFE is that yellow tab you see right here. I'll zoom in for you. My zoom takes forever, but there it is. That's how you know you have a 68 RFE. So taking a look at the front of the truck, the Night Edition package really does dress this truck up in a really unique way from the other Rams. So you're going to have a painted front bumper and grille, and it's going to be blacked out in the center. The headlights are going to have dark accents to it on the inside. They are going to be full LED with the exception of your turn signals. You are going to have LED fog lights just below, and you have tow hooks and your parking sensors up front also. The truck is riding on black painted 20-inch wheels wrapped in LT 285/60/20. But I must say, this truck in long bed form does look good with this Night Edition package. If you do tow a fifth wheel or gooseneck, this is always the best configuration to have, because this definitely does make life a little bit easier when you're making those 90-degree turns, especially with a fifth wheel. Now, one thing to recommend, you do have different style running boards. You can get the fixed black ones that are painted. The only thing I will say is those are a lot more easier to scratch than these. And what I like about these are when you have the door closed, I just think it looks so much more cleaner with when the running board goes inside versus having just a fixed running board. Just my opinion though. If you are taking a look at a 3/4 ton Ram, it is going to have a 5-link coil rear suspension, but you do have the availability to put air suspension back here. Now, that air suspension is going to work with these leaf springs here, but this one does not have the air suspension. It just has the standard leaf form that you see here. It's just 4 leaves in this pack. Taking a look at the rear, you are going to have a painted rear bumper, darkened tail lights, and you're going to have black emblems. Now, this is going to have a class 5 receiving hitch, parking sensor just below, and this does have a button to drop the tailgate. It's going to come standard with the Laramie. If you opt your truck to have the fifth wheel and gooseneck prep package, they are going to give you a 7-pin inside the bed, and now they just started including a 4-pin inside of the bed for you too, so just keep that in mind. LEDs are inside of here too. These are all optional, including that high mount with the camera too. Last but not least, spray and bed liner. But I will say with the Night Edition, I really do like the way this truck looks. I'm not a huge fan of a long truck like this, but in a lot of cases, and I'm pretty sure as I get older, I'm probably going to want more comfort features like having a longer bed, to have a toolbox and things like that. But overall, I really do like the way this truck looks. I mean, long bed trucks are not always my favorite, but I think with the fender flares and just with this Night Edition package, it does make it look a lot more cleaner, I would say. And here's just a better angle of the truck. All right, guys, I'm going to show you the acceleration here in a second. Let me just line it up. Now, this is going to be the standard coming. So here we go. I mean, this truck is definitely quicker than the Eisen transmission. The 68 RP just does put that power down a lot better. And that's not really surprising for me anymore, because now I understand the Eisen transmission. The Eisen transmission is a towing transmission, so do not get it twisted. If you want that 1,000 pound-feet of torque, you're going to be disappointed if you're not going to be towing a trailer. I'm just going to let you know now. So definitely consider this in the 1 ton if you are potentially going to buy one. Now, as you guys saw in the last video I did, I'm cruising at 65 miles an hour again, and I can definitely tell where the RPMs are. It's about the same. So 65 miles an hour, either truck are going to be about the same. Now, that truck obviously was a dually. This truck did feel a little bit more quicker off the line than that one, but even if you had a single rear wheel with the high output, I felt like when this truck was accelerating, I didn't really even see the truck changing gears. I feel like it was kind of more instantaneous too, like, and I like that actually. I just think that the 68 RFE is a better suited truck for cruising around. If you don't plan on towing a trailer, if you're just gonna lift this truck, put it on big wheels and tires, just get the standard coming. I guess like I'm just happy now that I see this, because if I ever decide in the future I don't want to tow a trailer anymore, I might just step down to a 68 RFE myself, because this is not a bad transmission. I know a lot of guys don't like this one either, but I think it's better than the Eisen if you're just cruising around. And most people who have trucks like this, they just cruise around. So this is a better engine to do it with. And it's quicker, so you kind of get best of both worlds. Now, you guys have pretty much already seen the interiors for these trucks, so I'm just going to just show you a quick top 5 things I love about the interior. Let's get started. The first thing on my list is I love the attention to detail of the Ram interiors. For example, you have the stitching on the door here. It follows on top of the dash, and they also just give you all the different accents, like the silvers and the, you know, this black piece up here, but even this piano black. Everything just flows well, and they actually revised this a little bit too. It's not as, it used to be like a goldish color, but because of the black interior, this didn't fit well, and they fixed that. I'm glad they did that. But I love the attention to detail. I love what they've done with this interior. It's really the best truck interior, but it's also probably in the top 10 for interiors for cars also. Number 2 is I like the fact that you have a standard 9-speaker Alpine that sounds pretty decent actually on this truck. But if you really like to listen to your music loud and clear, you can get the Harman Kardon even on the Laramie trim packages. Now, obviously those things are available on the Limited and the Longhorn, but you can also get it on the Laramie. Number 3, I love how user-friendly this system is here. So if you would like to have like this button out here, you can actually drag this out and you can put it on top of here. A lot of manufacturers have not figured out this system yet, but Ram pretty much done that. I mean, it's so user friendly, so easy to use, and it's probably one of my favorite things about this truck. Number 3 is I like how customizable this screen is. In the 4 corners, you can pretty much change out the information in there. Let me just show you what I'm talking about. Using the arrows here, and it's very easy to use too. Using the arrows, this left hand corner here, you can change it from the compass, outside temperature, time, range to empty, average economy, current economy, trip A and B, oil pressure, battery voltage, transmission temp, coolant temp, trailer trip, trailer brake, oil life, boost pressure for your turbo, exhaust brake, fuel filter life, and you can just put nothing there if you want. So really customizable and very user-friendly to use, very easy to use too. Number 4 is, if you're looking at the crew cab, I like the fact that they do give you this storage on the floor here, and I like that you have a 60/40 bench and you have a tray to put down if you need it for your dog or for maybe storing something here, or if you want to sleep in the back of your truck. This all goes into a flat floor surface, so it's easier to sleep in the back here too. Last but not least, I like the fact that they use LED interior lighting, and it's not like a blue color, it's really like a white color, so it's like really soft on your eyes, and they use it even in the rear seats too. And I guess the last thing, which is number 6, which I didn't even say I was gonna list, but I like the fact that this truck is geared towards technology. So you have 4 USBs up here, type A, type C, and you have 4 more in the rear, and you have a charging station for your phone. So if you can charge your phone wirelessly, you can do that in this Ram truck. And you also have a plug below here with a second one in the back seat too.
Perfect.
Anytime you're in the market for a Ram 3500 long bed or mega cab, you're going to see these numbers. Gross axle weight rating up front is going to be 6,000 pounds. Gross axle in the rear is going to be 7,000. You're going to have a GVWR of 12,300 pounds. So this is what you're going to see for mega cab and long bed 1-ton trucks. All in payload capacity is going to be 4,176 pounds. Alright guys, so just really quickly, I want to show you the towing capacity for this truck. Now, payload capacity is right here. As you guys saw on the truck, it did have a lower number. That's pretty normal. Anytime you go online, these trucks are going to be assumed to have no options on them. So once you start adding a spray and bed liner and running board and all that good stuff, it's going to lower this number. So you guys saw it was like 4,100 pounds, and that's why you see a difference here. Now, as you guys saw, this is going to be a Weight Watchers truck edition. So basically what that means is, I chose a trailer that I did a review on. My wife and I did a walk around on this one, and I show you the numbers with this trailer, and then I show you the numbers with this truck to see whether it has enough capacity to tow it, and leave you some margin too if you need to add stuff to your truck. So just keep that in mind. Now, I also did a video on a dual rear wheel night edition truck just recently. Now, I'm going to show you guys numbers for both trucks. That way you have a better idea to see what truck gives you the capacity to tow this trailer comfortably. So let's get into it. Alright, before we go over the numbers, let me just show you guys the floor plan that we have a better idea what the RV looks like. Now, as I mentioned, this is going to be a Montana High Country 377 front living 5th wheel. So you're going to have a front living, and this has a unique bunkhouse. This bunkhouse, or they call it a loft, is above the master bedroom. So you have a stairwell that gets you up there. I think this is probably one of the greatest floor plans for a bunkhouse because I'm a huge fan of front living. However, in order to have a bunkhouse, you typically have to either have a mid bunk or a rear bunk. So this is probably one of my favorite floor plans because of that. Now, taking a look at the numbers, the shipping weight for this trailer is 12,985. Now, the trailer that I did a review on, this one here, this had a different number. It was 13,100. So we're going to use that number. Now, as far as cargo carrying capacity goes, this trailer has a pretty big one. Most Montana high countries do because they are considered to be full-time living RVs. But the gross vehicle weight rating for this trailer is going to be 16,460 pounds. Hitch weight dry is going to be 2,465 pounds. Now with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at the numbers for the single rear wheel. So what I did was I put all the numbers in here for the Montana, and I put all the numbers in here for the standard Cummins Laramie with the night edition package, the one we just did a review on. Now I added 2,000 pounds to that dry weight, or that delivery weight, when the trailer got to the dealership. I added 2,000 pounds here, and I multiplied this number by 21% to give me the hitch or the pin weight, if you want to call it either way. Most people call it pin weight for fifth wheels. Now as far as the truck goes, I used 8,124 pounds for the curb weight. I just subtracted 12.3 minus the actual payload for the truck, and it gave me that number. Now what I did was, because the payload number was lower than what was shown online, what I had to do, let me show it to you here, I had to just subtract 4,400 minus the 4,176, and I used that number to subtract the towing capacity that you see here, and then I added the towing capacity to the GVWR to give me my gross combined vehicle weight rating. I'm not saying that this number is accurate, that's just how I got there. So do your own research and figure out if this is the right way, but that's how I got to it for this truck. Now what I did was I added 410 pounds for passengers and 400 pounds for cargo. I did up this a little bit from my previous Weight Watchers, only because I kind of felt like with the long bed truck you can get a toolbox in there no problem. You can even get a generator inside the back bed. So I just wanted to increase this a little bit, and that's going to give you all in 810 pounds. This is going to be a deduction of your payload capacity. So is this number here. So all in, you only have 195 pounds of availability for this single rear wheel truck. So just keep that in mind, and I'm going to go over it in a second, but this is not even maxing out the GVWR. So at 15,100 pounds, you are pretty much all in on this truck. So let's go ahead and take a look at that dual rear wheel. Now as I mentioned, the dually I did a review on. Be sure to check that video out too. I thought it was a really good video. I was taken away when I saw that truck. I mean, that truck is the most beautiful dually I've seen ever. I mean, that night edition package really does dress up the Ram. But this truck here, as you guys can see, same numbers here for the trailer, same numbers for the cargo and for the passengers. The only difference is this is going to have a 14,000 pound GVWR. Now if you take the payload here and subtract it, it's going to give you the curb weight. And I did the same thing for the towing capacity. I just deducted what I saw online and subtracted off the towing capacity, and that's how I got my gross combined vehicle weight, adding this number plus the GVWR. And as you guys can see, you have a ton of available payload here. Now one thing I would tell you is this is just how I think. I would love to buy this Keystone Montana High Country for my truck. However, my truck has a 3,700 pound payload, so I would not attempt to tow this trailer. I think I'm all in on with what I have. Now I could have gotten a Bighorn or maybe even a Laramie and maybe increased it by a little bit, but I still wouldn't have enough, I think, for this trailer. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the 16,460 pounds, we're going to multiply that by 21%. If it was me buying this trailer, this is how I would do my math. I would take this number, and you see you still have more than enough capacity. So if you want to put a 50-gallon tank in the back of your bed of your truck, or a toolbox or a generator, you still have room here. So I would strongly recommend stay within that number. Now let me just show you the same thing with the single rear wheel. You guys know where this is going, right? So 3457. So if you're in the market for a truck, just make sure you don't buy a big trailer, assuming because you have a 1-ton truck you have the capacity. A lot of people online say you can go buy the axle ratings. Listen, do what you want to do. I tell people this all the time. I am not telling anyone what to do. I'm just giving you the numbers and giving you something to think about, because a lot of guys go out here and buy trucks that are not capable in terms of the payload capacity to tow a trailer, and you just have that thing in the back of your mind that sucks. And then most people have to go in, trade the truck and get a bigger truck, and then they lose all this money. So I just want to help prevent that from happening. But hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. As I tell you guys all the time, do your research, have fun. When you go out camping, don't let this be the one thing on your mind that you're thinking about. See you in the next video. And if you're interested to see the truck with the mirrors up, here you go.